Conservative talking head Ben Shapiro has finally weighed in on Donald Trump's nuke the hurricane suggestion, and Ben Shapiro doesn't necessarily think it's a horrible idea. Here's how he explained it.
They're talking about this dumb story that President Trump wanted to nuke hurricanes, which, by the way, I don't even care whether it does anything. It just sounds cool. I mean, what if there are sharks in the hurricanes? What if it's a Sharknado? What then, guys? Have you thought about that? Just the idea. Anytime you're talking about nuking a random thing that's not really going to hurt anybody, I'll admit, the 13-year-old boy in me is kind of for it. In any case, it's a dumb story. CNN decided to make it a big story, and then they brought on April Ryan, who is supposedly a reporter.
Okay, there's obviously several problems with what Ben said there, not the least of which is the speed with which he says it. Just because you talk fast doesn't mean you say good things, Ben. I think you need to understand that a little bit better. More importantly, admitting that sometimes you think like a 13-year-old boy doesn't really do much to help your credibility. And yeah, sure, nuking a hurricane, that sounds cool, right? Nobody's going to get hurt. You're an idiot. I mean, seriously, folks, we are watching Ben Shapiro get dumber and dumber and dumber right before our very eyes every time one of these little clips get released. Now, make no mistake, I never thought this guy was intelligent at all. I'm still shocked that he was once referred to as part of the leader of the intellectual dark web. Here's the thing that Ben doesn't seem to understand. A nuclear explosion is not just like a bomb that just goes boom and then it's done, right? It releases radiation. I mean, there's nuclear fallout from that. And if you were to put all those things in a massive wind system, they don't just fall to the ground and get buried and everybody can have fun. No, Ben, they get caught up in that wind system. And as we've mentioned, you essentially create a radiation-filled hurricane, a nuclear hurricane, if you will. And what doesn't get sucked up into the hurricane will catch a ride on the trade winds, traveling hundreds upon hundreds of miles to other areas where the bomb wasn't even near, but now these people are getting exposed to unhealthy amounts of radiation from your nuke the hurricane 13-year-old boy idea. And what doesn't get sucked into the hurricane, what doesn't make it into the trade winds, is just going to fall right into the ocean there. Yeah, it's not like we need the oceans for anything, right, Ben? Those things aren't important. We can just nuke the hell out of them. Ben Shapiro is correct about one thing. He does have the mindset of a 13-year-old boy. He seems intellectually stunted at that age based on the things he says, based on his level of knowledge about the issues, and based on his desire to desperately, doing whatever it takes, get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to notice him. Ben Shapiro 100% is still that 13-year-old boy, making fun of the girl because he secretly has a little crush on her. That's what he's doing with AOC. Thinking that it's cool to nuke a hurricane because nobody's going to get exposed to it because this guy never took the time, the few seconds really, to look up any of the research that has actually been going on for years telling us why this is such a deadly and dangerous idea. Ben Shapiro is a 13-year-old boy who somehow got trapped in a 15-year-old boy's body. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.